All right, so today I have the Innovation Competition Pistol, or ICP is what I'm going to continue to refer this to. And this is a Black Leopard Eye from ICS. Now, obviously, this is essentially a Glock-ish gun, and I'm just going to go over sort of everything there is to know about it real quick here. First thing, magazines. This comes with a 17-round magazine. There is a way to make this take different magazines, and I'll get into that later on in this video, but essentially, this one comes with a ambidextrous, so it has both cutouts for the mag release. 17-round magazine with Glock 17 magazine with a base pad on here. And essentially the gas is underneath the base pad. To open it up, you just pull on this tab and then it'll let you slide it open, and then there's your gas port there. The gun, it is a full or semi-auto gun, so there is a selector switch. It's similar to the AAP-01, how it has a secret selector switch, and I'm going to show you that real quick, and I'm not going to talk about that for the rest of the video. It's in the back here. So basically, if you look right here, there's a little ledge. If you pull on this ledge, it'll move over this here, and this is what controls the full auto. If you want, right now it's in full auto mode. If you want to put it back into semi-auto mode, you just push, you push this part back forwards, and now it's back into semi-auto. I'm going to start with sort of the basic controls. It does have a ambidextrous magazine release, so you can swap this to the opposite side. It's the same system as like the AAP-01, so I'm not going to show how to switch it over, but super easy to swap if you're left-handed. And it has this knurling here, which does make it essentially extended magazine catch, which is nice. It makes it a little bit easier to grab onto, and it is very grippy, so you're definitely not going to slip off or accidentally press it, as long as you're actually feeling where your thumb is at. The grip texture on the sides is very weird. I don't like that grip texture. It does not feel comfortable in my hands, but that is sort of a personal thing. The front is lines. This is much better. I prefer this. I wish this was around the whole thing. And the back is sort of just the Glock, where it has the vertical lines, as you can see there. Moving up here, you have a thumb ledge. This thumb ledge is on both sides, so right hand and left hand, you get a thumb ledge that you can use to rest your thumb on. It gives you more control over the gun. It makes it easier to aim and stuff like that. I definitely like that. Slide catch, it is obviously a lot different than a normal Glock slide catch. It is definitely way easier to actually use. The only issue is that because it's easy to use, it has a whole nother issue if you look at there being a thumb ledge here. So basically, if you use the thumb ledge, your thumb is going to be holding down the slide catch, and the slide is not going to lock back. So obviously, if you don't use the thumb ledge, it's going to lock back. But if you do use the thumb ledge, it's not going to lock back because you're holding down on the thumb ledge. So that is obviously an issue. There's no way to really fix that, unfortunately. You just either have to deal with it or not use the thumb rest. The slide catch is also the takedown pin, and I'll get into that when I take it apart a little bit. Going up here on the top, it is an RMR mount up here on the top, so you can directly mount an RMR on here. Now there's no locking lugs or plates, so just keep that in mind. It's only going to be held on by those screws. And it has very deep serrations on the side. Although the finish of the gun is a little bit slippery, the serrations are deep, so as long as you grab on tight, you're going to be fine. But if you grab on loosely, you may slip around, just because the finish is very slippery on this gun. It does also have sort of a cocking handle that sticks out, although with how these serrations are, I don't really see a need to have those like little handles on the back, but I guess it has both ways, so depending on how you want to use it, it has both of them on the gun for you out of the box, which is there. You do have a little texture up here for your support hand thumb to grab onto when you shoot, which is nice. I use that always, so I'm happy that it's included on this gun. And here you have 3 Picatinny spots, and this is a Glock 19 length frame, but it has a Glock 17 length slide. So that's sort of what's going on here as far as that's concerned. The sights, it does have a single dot in the front. In the back, it has a crazy thing going on. Not a fan of these sights personally. It is very busy for me. You should be able to replace these sights with Glock sights. So you could always just get rid of that or use a red dot and then it doesn't matter anymore. But the sights are a little bit busy for me. Not necessarily a fan. They are glow in the dark. So if you charge them with light, then they will glow in the dark, and they glow for quite a long time, like at least 10 minutes or so they will glow for, which is nice. But they're not like tritium, so they're not going to glow on their own. They have to be charged with a light to glow, right? On the front here, I have the orange tip on here, but it is threaded. It has internal threads, and then it comes with a thread adapter that will convert it to be the standard airsoft threads that you see on most rifles and externally threaded pistols. Up here in the front, you have a little bit of a serration. So if you are one of the people that likes to put your finger up here, that is there for you. But that is, I'm not going to ever use that, but that is there. Now, the part down here, this is essentially a grip extension. It is also a magwell, but it's not the most like useful of a magwell. It's mainly just a grip extension. And if you remove the grip extension, you can now use Glock 19 magazines instead of Glock 17 magazines, like what it comes with. So I'm going to do that real quick so you can see what that looks like. So there's just one screw in there that holds the grip on. And now that it's removed, you can see it has a lot different silhouette. It changes it a lot. I do personally like this look. I like having this short grip with the long slide. I think it looks really nice. And here I have a Glock 19 magazine from Elite Force. And as you can see, it will lock into place just fine. And it will also lock the slide back as it should. And this gun is compatible with essentially all Glock magazines. If you want the left-handed magazine release, you do need to make sure you get magazines that have both cutouts on them, like this one does, and the one that comes with it does. But some Glock magazines only have it for right-handed shooters, so just keep that in mind. All right, now if we take this apart, you need to sort of line up this whole notch system like so, and then you can pop out the pin, and the slide will come off. And it's basically a Glock 18C internally. And you can see that it is kind of nice. It appears they used red Loctite to lock in that screw that holds the blowback unit in, which is nice. This is a common issue on Glocks, is the blowback unit will fall out over time with that screw loosening, but hopefully this will remedy that. The recoil system is pretty cool. It's sort of all held together, so it's a whole little package deal here, which is cool. And if you want to remove the barrels, it's gonna just come out like normal. And there's, to note, there's nothing that's holding it like to get these two pieces together. It's just held together when the gun's assembled. But when the gun's not assembled, these are just loosey-goosey. And probably the best part about this gun is this gun has a TDC style hop-up. So if you look at the top, you can see how it's large. The silver part is the actual hop-up arm, but it's not really an arm, it's a loop. So it's a whole loop, and it will move the entire loop up and down depending on how you adjust it. And to adjust it, you have just a dead center screw on the bottom here that will lower or raise the hop-up arm, which is very nice. So this is a really good hop-up chamber, and there's essentially no reason to change this out. And it goes together super easy. It's not anything complex or crazy. And as you can see inside how the magazine release system works, it's just like the AAP01. It's very easy to swap it if you want to. All right, now shooting the gun, it does feel very nice when you shoot it. Honestly, I would, if I were to use this in game as like a main gun, I personally would just leave it how it is. It doesn't really need any upgrades. It does have a good cycle rate. It has a good hop-up chamber. I'm I may change the sights out, but besides that, I would probably keep it how it is and just deal with, obviously I would need to deal with the side catch not catching on the last one, but that is just how it is going to be. But as you can see, it actually has a pretty good like impulse, very quick. Shoots really nice. The only thing that's a little bit weird when you shoot it is because of how this little bottom piece is on, it has a little bit of wiggle. It doesn't pinch you, but you can feel it wiggle sometimes. So just keep that in mind. I don't really have much else to say. This gun is pretty nice. It does have some of its sort of drawbacks, but I think overall it's pretty nice. And it definitely doesn't really need upgrades. It shoots nice out of the box, so you don't need to feel like you need to upgrade it. So this may be a good gun to have. You just buy it and you have a backup gun, or you have a gun for friends. Or if you just don't want to upgrade anything, this gun is good out of the box. It's not like your sort of normal airsoft Glocks. Normally airsoft Glocks are going to need some upgrades and some care. This one is actually pretty nice. I did forget to mention that it is using, inside of the hammer system, it's using a ball, or not a ball bearing, but it's using a bearing in here instead of using a rotor. Like AAP-01s are going to use rotors most of the time, unless you mod them. And same thing with a lot of other Glocks are going to use rotors. But a bearing like this is going to make it a lot more smooth, which is nice that this is what they include in here. Yeah, not much else to say about this. This is a nice gun. I do like it. But that's my video. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was useful for you. And make sure you check out the link down below. That is a link to our Discord server, and you are welcome to join. All right, have a nice day.